You ever stumble across one of those health tutorials that starts out super normal and then just completely flies off the handle? Well, today we're going to break down this amazing piece of satire that does exactly that. It's this masterful blend of legit fitness advice and totally surreal comedy, all to make a really, really sharp point.
So really, what does happen when a health tutorial goes completely off the rails? Well, before we get to the crash, you gotta see the road it started on. It all begins on this, seemingly normal, totally trustworthy path. It's a classic setup, right? It's designed to pull you in and make you feel safe.
See, here's the genius of it. It doesn't start with a gag or a punchline. Nope. The creator goes straight for credibility. They hook you with a totally legit, science-backed problem, something that makes you actually lean in and go, okay, I should listen to this.
And what's that problem? Oh, it's the classic one. All that hidden sugar in basically every commercial drink out there. It's a real health concern, right? We've all been told to watch out for it. So by starting here, you're immediately thinking, great, I'm about to get a helpful, genuine solution. And that is a perfect piece of misdirection.
Okay, so the stage is set. You've got the problem, way too much sugar. And you've got the proposed solution, a clean, homemade alternative. Everything feels super straightforward, super helpful, which, of course, is exactly the point.
All right, let's get to the recipe itself. And on the surface, it starts out totally normal. But you gotta watch closely, because this is where the first tiny little cracks in that professional facade start to appear. This is the beginning of the slide from reasonable to, well, completely ridiculous.
And yeah, the first couple of steps, exactly what you'd expect. You got your liquid base, you add a measured scoop of protein powder. I mean, it's textbook stuff. So far, so good, right?
But right when you're nodding along, thinking you know exactly where this is going, bam. The whole idea of precision gets thrown right out the window. The instructions take this incredibly sharp, totally unexpected turn straight into pure chaos.
And from this point on, forget about it being an instructional video. That's over. Any pretense of being helpful is just gone. What we get instead is this surreal, chaotic montage of absolute madness.
And it kicks off with just sheer, mind-boggling excess. We're talking 24 whole eggs. Yeah, 24. At this point, any idea of reasonable nutritional advice is in the rearview mirror. We have officially blasted off into the land of performance art.
And the escalation from here is just chef's kiss. The kitchen? Forget it. We're in the garage now. Whisks and spoons? Nope, those get tossed aside for power tools. The creator isn't making a supplement anymore. They are literally undertaking a construction project.
So, okay, after all this chaos, this unholy mixture of construction equipment and a whole lot of eggs, what could the final product possibly even be? It's all leading up to the grand unveiling, let's be honest, the inevitable and glorious reveal.
But before we see it, let's just remind ourselves what the original promise was. Remember? The whole goal of this entire bizarre process was to create a professional-grade supplement for peak fitness. Just keep that phrase in your head.
And here's the punchline. This says it all, doesn't it? That huge, hilarious gap between the super lofty promise and the grim reality. This isn't a professional-grade supplement. It's a murky, questionable gray sludge.
So you got to be asking, what's the point of all this, right? Why this whole elaborate bait and switch? Well, this is where we get to the actual core message, the absolutely brilliant satirical point that's hiding under all that absurdity.
Look, the creator wasn't just making a mess. They were making a statement. This whole thing is a super sharp commentary on that extreme, often kind of unappealing side of peak fitness culture. The biohacking, the obsessive supplement routines, and that gray sludge, it's the perfect metaphor for the grim reality that's often hiding behind all those shiny promises.
And that's the final amazing question this whole thing leaves us with, isn't it? It's basically holding up this big satirical mirror to our own modern wellness obsessions. It forces you to ask, hey, does my own constant quest for optimization maybe look just as bizarre from the outside as someone mixing eggs with a power drill? Definitely something to think about.